Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we've got more updates in the Cardi B defamation case against Tasha K. And Tasha K and her defense team has responded to Cardi B's request for an injunction for Tasha K to stop talking about Cardi B and subliminals about Cardi B and having her videos still uploaded on other platforms to still make a profit off of the lies that Tasha K told on Cardi B. And it says the following from allhiphop.com. It says that Tasha K's bitter war with Cardi B is still bubbling despite the vlogger being handed a $4 million loss after their recent court battle. In January, Cardi defeated Tasha K in a defamation of character lawsuit after a jury sided with the Bronx, New York rapper who claimed Unwind with Tasha K host constant attacks were nothing but lies. Tasha K made many shady allegations about Cardi B. She claimed the rapper was a prostitute with herpes and HPV, allegations proven to be falsehoods. Tasha K also claimed Cardi B took a beer bottle from a customer when she was a stripper, inserted it inside themselves, and then took a swig before giving the brew back to the man. Even though Tasha K lost $4 million, Cardi believes the attacks will continue unless a court orders the YouTube personality to stop. Last week, Cardi went back to court to ask a judge for injunctive relief to silence Tasha K and to have various social media posts and YouTube videos removed. Defendants made it clear that they would not stop publishing the defamatory statements about plaintiffs absent an order from this court. If defendants carry through with these promises to keep harassing plaintiff absent an injunction, plaintiff will be required to file repeated, if not perpetual, subsequent litigation to address the threatened future defamation. Cardi B's lawyer, Andrew, wrote to the court. Incredibly, despite losing a fortune, Tasha K is fighting Cardi B's attempt at injunctive relief. According to Tasha K, so this is the response, you guys, Cardi B cannot prove that she has plans to defame her in the future. She is asking the court to decline the permanent injunction barring her from speaking about the rapper. And even though the jury returned a verdict in Cardi's favor, that by itself is not sufficient to secure a permanent injunction. Tasha K's lawyer, guess who Tasha K's lawyer is, you guys? Olga! Tasha K's lawyer, Olga, argued, plaintiff must prove that she is suffering and will continue to suffer irreparable harm, which entitles her as a legal right to injunctive relief. A judge will decide on the matter April 1st, 2022. You guys, this has just reached a new low. This has reached an absolute new low. So, number one, Tasha K still has Olga as her attorney, the same Olga that just lost her this defamation case where Tasha K has to pay $4 million to Cardi B and her lawyers and Cardi B's medical expenses. Still has Olga, the same Olga that Tasha K, wrote a 1-star review dragging her attorney with specific details that match this particular defamation case. That Olga. But the problem is with the defense argument, and at this point, I don't even know if they're trolling, because that needs to be taken into consideration at this point. They are trying to argue that basically you can't prove that Tasha K is going to ever say or do anything that's going to be defamatory about Cardi B in the future. But the problem is Tasha K still has been. Tasha K still is taunting Cardi B, you guys. It kicked off with the interview where Tasha K said that she didn't have the money to pay Cardi B after previously saying the opposite. after previously saying she had money to blow, she had money to do this and that it's not a thing, and going on live with her employees saying that they're saying you're broke and that you can't afford the judgment to pay Cardi B, and they're just telling all kinds of lies about you. That was a direct quote, you guys. We didn't make it up out of thin air. We're not counting Tasha K's pockets. Tasha K was the one that was telling us about her pockets. That's where all this stemmed from. Tasha K was telling us she was rich and she had money to blow, and that $3 million wasn't a thing when her countersuit got dropped, and said that we were taking this to court. We were taking this all the way to the Supreme Court. This was out of Tasha K's mouth. And so furthermore, Tasha K has taken this hashtag I ain't got it to a whole nother level. Remember, I did videos calling out that Tasha K is using TV shows that are discussing people who can't pay somebody their money that they owe them, and the referencing of Inventing Anna, where she's saying the deposit will be in by Monday. As you guys know, if you guys aren't familiar with the show, basically she scammed some people, told them that the money was going to be there, and it never came. And on top of that, Tasha K is selling I ain't got it, hashtag I ain't got it merchandise, you guys, which I have in the thumbnail. So her last two videos, and this is how crafty Tasha K is, right? Because this is the same thing that happened during the trial where she refused to take down Cardi B's videos. Right? And, for a while, she still had them up. And even after, the judgment came down, the videos still were there. They were unlisted. And then she moved them over to Patreon. And then, some of her people who have a Patreon with her, were reporting it and exposing it. So then she moved it to other platforms. This is the same thing. This whole hashtag I ain't got it is about Cardi B, is about continuing to make money off of Cardi B. And there is a link in, so she has two recent videos, you guys. In the first recent video, she just has a link in her description box saying Tasha K merchandise. But the merchandise is all hashtag I ain't got it merch. Basically making fun, once again, of Cardi B. There's t-shirts, there's a tote bag, there's a water bottle, there's just all kinds, there's a beanie hat, like there's t-shirt, like it's just a hot mess, you guys. It is a hot mess. And so then in the second video, her most recent one, it's embedded so that you can just click directly to buy the hashtag I ain't got it merch. So she's not publicizing it publicly, like saying a post like, hey, I have merch, you guys, but she also is publicizing it by including it in her videos to, again, make more money, subbing, disrespecting Cardi B, basically making a mockery of all of this, saying that she ain't got it. So right then and there, that invalidates Olga's argument about you can't prove that Tasha K is going to say or doing anything in the future that's going to defame or throw shots at Cardi B when Tasha K is still actively doing it. Tasha K is still actively taunting Cardi B as we speak, as of today, Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. So I don't understand the legal strategy at this point. I do not understand the legal strategy that Olga and her defense team have come up with, because basically your client has already admitted in court that she was not going to stop until the court told her to, until she received a gag order, until she, there was an injunction filed against her, which is where we are at right now. And then the whole part where they're trying to say the plaintiff needs to prove she's suffering, she proved that in court with their therapist. And how, Cardi B was suicidal, how, this took a toll over her. She was depressed because of, the cheating allegations that Tasha K made, trying to allege that Cardi B cheated on her husband. Like, it was just a combination of stuff as well. as Tasha K hashtagging the cold sore bee and hashtagging herpes bee, and to the point that her winos were going into Cardi B's comments and basically asking Cardi B, when she posted a picture of her kissing her daughter Culture, why she is kissing her child if she has herpes. So this whole thing that Cardi B and her legal team can't prove that Tasha K isn't going to say anything in the future, and that they can't prove that anything that's taken place over the nearly 4 years has done any harm to Cardi B, is insane. It's complete and utter insanity. And it's just crazy to me. It is just crazy to me. They went the libel route, you guys. They went libel to prove that you had malicious intent to continue to knowingly spread a lie about somebody to make money. And you said as much under oath in the courtroom. You said that you knowingly continued to post stuff about Cardi B that was a lie because you saw the number of views you were getting, you saw the revenue you were getting, and you saw how viral it was going. Just like now, this hashtag I ain't got it, which is what prompted Cardi B to file again more court papers for an injunctive relief for the quote, bitch better have my money, excuse my language. That is what this is coming from, the hashtag I ain't got it interview. This is coming from you making a mockery of it, tagging 50 Cent, tagging the game, tagging all these people who never paid their judgments, also referencing other TV shows about people not paying money, and referencing specifically shows about rich, wealthy white people, you know, talking about pulling out of deals and not paying people their money that they owe them. And now you've taken it to another level with the merchandise. Because see, what's happening is people kept putting in the comments, oh, Tasha K should do hashtag I ain't got it merch. Well, she already did. She's just not publicizing she did, but is publicizing she did. And this is the same tactics that Tasha K did with Cardi B's videos. She made it look like that she took down, quote, some videos in good faith, when really they were still there. They eventually got unlisted, so if you still had a link, you could still see the video. And then it got moved to her Patreon, then it got moved to other platforms, then allegedly it is still on her app and her website and other things if you are a paying member. So Tasha K doesn't seem to care. And Tasha K still wants to make money off of these videos that are slandering and defaming Cardi B, when the receipts have already been proven otherwise, that it's not true what Tasha K is alleging. So I don't understand why Tasha K is willing to risk losing her YouTube channel, risk losing the ability to do any celebrity news and gossip in the future, whether it's on a website, whether it's on an app, whether it's on, you know, a streaming service or what have you. Why risk any of that just because you are too proud to admit defeat? Because you are too proud to simply set up a payment plan and pay Cardi B her attorney fees and everything else, their money, this judgment. Because you are too proud to admit to your winos that you were wrong. You are too proud to admit to your winos that you went too far this time with a celebrity that has the money and has the time to make an example out of you. You are too prideful to humble yourself and just stop. If you would just stop it, Cardi B wouldn't have to continue to file more and more paperwork against you in the court system. And that same interview where you said hashtag I ain't got it, you kept saying that you were going to file appeal. Once again, no receipts of an appeal filed, no dockets in the appellate court in Georgia that you have filed, any sort of appealing this case. Because that costs money too. That you claim to, quote, I ain't got it. That you're making a profit to still make money off of making fun of taunting and subliminally trying to get at Cardi B still. All of this resulted from you continuing to taunt her, from you continuing to poke the bear. And this defense is just completely wacky. It is just completely wacky and ill-advised and isn't making any sense at all. When Tasha K is actively still trying to hurt Cardi B, is still trying to get Cardi B's attention, is referencing, the Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, the Nick Cannon Show, anybody that talks about Tasha K, and Tasha K talking about how she has no intention of paying Cardi B that money. So to this, Tasha K sees this as an opportunity to, have publicity for herself, to promote herself further, but it shoots her credibility in the foot. It already has proven in court that she has lied, and she willingly lied as well on the stand under oath. You guys, I don't understand what is happening. I don't understand what it is going to take at this point for Tasha K to get it. And maybe she has to lose everything. Maybe there has to be a lien against her house. Maybe, the YouTube checks need to just be going directly to Cardi B at this point for Tasha K to get it. And even if you're trying to make quick bucks off of these recent YouTube interviews and trying to put other stuff in other people's name, trying to hide money, they are going to find the money. They're not playing. They're going to find the money and you're going to have to pay. And if you don't pay, they're going to take it from you to get that money. I don't understand what isn't computing. This isn't a game. This isn't about whether or not you like Cardi B. This isn't about whether or not you like Tasha K. This is not about whether or not you are a wino. This is about right is right, wrong is wrong. It was proven in court. You were wrong, even though we knew you were wrong for the past 4 years. And the judgment hearing basically held you liable, told you, no, you are paying $4 million to Cardi B. You are paying the maximum on everything. And even Cardi B was feeling, a little generous to lower at least, the medical expenses and everything else, because that was at the max originally. Because the original judgment total was actually over $4 million. But Tasha K refuses to back down. So here we are, you guys. Here we are. If Tasha K is not going to stop, Cardi B and her attorney said, hey, we're going to continue to file paperwork until she does. Because she still is talking about Cardi B. She is still trying to profit off of all of this one way or the other. And the hashtag I ain't got it is a direct shot at Cardi B, basically mocking her and taunting her and telling her, hey, I ain't got it, but I'm going to continue to make money and still not pay you. In the process, in the middle of you filing an injunction against me, and I just told you guys in court that you can't prove that I'm going to say anything in the future about you when the future is now, and you've continued since the judgment hearing to, in the future, discuss Cardi B. Make it make sense. You did 2 interviews. You did one interview with some lady that nobody saw the views on. And then you went to the All Black channel and did the other video where you're up here making a mockery saying, I ain't got it. And then once that went viral on the Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, the Nick Cannon Show, like I said, you're reposting this. You think it's funny. And now you're selling merchandise off of it. And this is what pissed off Cardi B. That was the whole point of this injunction relief request. Because you still are going. You're still trying to keep this going. You still want yourself in the news next to a celebrity, next to somebody as big as Cardi B. And I just don't understand at this point, why add more fuel to the fire? Why increase the amount of money that you're going to have to pay Cardi B for simply not setting up a payment plan for the original judgment amount and just making this stop? But now what's going to happen, because you are too proud to admit defeat, you are too proud to do an apology, to hold yourself accountable, to say, hey, I went too far this time. This is not a good look. This is not a good example. You are doubling down and making matters worse and making matters, escalate to the point that everything now is going to be taken from you. Because your legal strategy, your defense strategy makes no sense at all. But these are the things that happen when you think that you can outsmart people, even though you've already been proven in court that you are responsible and that you have to pay. This is what happens when you're hard-headed, right? This is what happens when you want to see how far you can take something, knowing that you are in the wrong, knowing that you did wrong. And you're going to suffer more consequences as a result of this and try to play victim in the future. And that's the other thing, too, that I want to discuss. Just to remind you guys of people who are saying, you guys are being too hard on Tasha K, and you guys are trying to see a black woman, be taken down and blah, 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 blah. No. Tasha K has had several attempts before this even got legal, you guys, to refresh your memory. This started out in DMs where Cardi B sent Tasha K receipts debunking that interview. And Tasha K wanted her to come on our platform and do an interview debunking those rumors. And Cardi B said her legal team said no, because it was just going to create a bigger spectacle, and her fan base, Tasha K's winos that already believed the lies, were going to continue to perpetuate the lies and accuse Cardi B of just trying to save face and trying to make things look good and not believe her, so it was going to cause more harm than good. And you were pressed that Cardi B said no to you. So you went off posting video after video, slandering and defaming Cardi B and her family more. And you wouldn't stop. And then Cardi B sent you 3 separate cease and desist letters to stop it, to just take down the videos before this went to court, before there was any $4 million judgment. And you said that you were going to, quote, wipe your ass, excuse my language, with the cease and desist letters. And then said in court that a family court attorney out of DC told you that the cease and desist letters were fake. And so then we now move to court proceedings. And the minimum to file a federal defamation suit against you was $75,000. It wasn't ever going to be the amount of the judgment. That's what people got wrong, because there was too much overwhelming evidence. And so then when the story started to come out that Tasha K could be paying at the minimum of $3 million as a result of this lawsuit, Tasha K was like, oh, let's bring it on. Let's go to court, and filed a countersuit. That the judge told Tasha K then, this is not a good look. Please settle this case. There's too much evidence against you. This is not a good look for you and your attorneys. And still, even with your countersuit dismissed, you did not want to take heed and stop this from going to trial. And you bragged that this was going to, continue. You bragged about the alleged judgment amount going to you, and that you had all this money, and that you were about to get paid by Cardi B. You said all of this stuff out of your mouth, Tasha K. And now look what's happened. Now you have a $4 million judgment, and you still won't humble yourself and just pay the money. And just pay in a payment plan the money that you owe. Like Boondocks, Pay what you owe, and this will be over. That's all you have to do. But instead, when you're hard-headed, when you're entitled, when you feel like you're untouchable, when you feel like nobody can stop you, this is what happens. People keep digging a hole bigger and bigger and bigger to the point that they are going to be losing way more had they just accepted the judgment for what it is. Had you just accepted the DM 4 years ago of what it was, and you didn't have to pay anything. I don't understand, if you received 3 cease and desist, why didn't that just tell you, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to take down the videos. I'm going to stop. But this is what happens when you do not hold yourself accountable, when you think you are above the law, when you think you are above facing any consequences or anything negative happening as a result of you blatantly spreading lies and defamatory and slanderous statements about a celebrity, admitting under oath that you did such things and that you did it for clout, you did it for money, you did it for views, and said under oath that basically there would have to be an injunction filed against you, there would have to be a gag order for you to stop, and that a judge had to make that decision. So you already handed the case to the plaintiff and the judge on a silver platter. But now what's going to happen is all of this activity that you have done during the trial, mocking Cardi B, saying if it's up, then it's stuck, quoting her music, and all of this stuff post the judgment hearing, is now going to come back to bite you, is now going to do more harm than good, because Cardi B's attorneys keep finding evidence of you on other platforms still slandering her and still trying to make a profit off the videos. So you haven't learned your lesson, and the defense is already invalidated because in the future, which is post-judgment, you're still coming after Cardi B, which allows for a permanent injunction. And I'm just baffled at this point, because it makes no sense, you guys. It makes no sense as to why Tasha K won't just set up a payment plan. But now what's going to happen is there's a high chance she can lose everything. All because she still wants to put on a show for her winos and her fan base to make it look as though she's unbothered. But let me tell you this. Whether you are homeless or a multi-millionaire, nobody wants to pay a $4 million judgment, no matter how much they're playing on social media to make you think otherwise. Nobody wants that. So those are all of my thoughts, you guys. Please let me know what you guys think of this mess, because it's just gotten to a whole nother level, you guys. It's gotten to a whole nother level. And, you know, we've got that hearing on April 1st where very much everything could be taken from Tasha K. Because don't think that Cardi B's attorneys haven't been monitoring Tasha K on all these platforms, even after filing this injunction relief, because Tasha K still keeps going. So it's just going to be more and more ammo, more and more evidence against Tasha K for the judge to come down hard on her. And I don't understand why she won't stop it. And trying to cosplay as, you know, Wendy Williams, trying to cosplay as a white woman and, you know, make it as though, oh, well, if rich white people don't have to pay or can scam people, so can I. No. You've already been made an example in the court. You already have to pay a $4 million judgment. And Cardi B's attorneys just said in their judgment relief paperwork that they will continue to file paperwork against you if this is what it takes. So this has just gone from bad to worse to worser. Like it's just a disaster, you guys. This is a complete and utter disaster. So let me know what you guys think. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.